Tonight we are going to continue discussing the untethered soul, its overall message, and how to get the most out of it. Last time we talked about the actual experience, the energetic experience of reading through the book reflects the experience of the spiritual path. First, the awakening, the excitement, the realization that you don't have to be who you thought you were, and that there's a way out. That really is the excitement, that there's promise, there's hope, that there is a way out. It can be very different. And then the realization that there's beautiful energy inside of you, and you want it, and that it comes and goes. And if you're wise, you watch, and you see why it comes and goes. And you're moving into the second sections of the book as we discussed. It comes and goes because of the opening and closing of your heart. It's that simple. So you learn about the energy, and you learn about the dynamics of the energy, the chi, the shakti, spirit that flows through you. But the secrets constantly come down to the opening and closing. Opening and closing of your heart, opening and closing of your mind, which are directly related to each other. As the mind goes, so the heart goes. As the heart goes, so the mind goes. You don't need a book to tell you this. All the book does is point to what you already know. So you watch this. So then you move into the next section. We're going to do the latter sections today, but I'm just catching up. You move in the next section, which to me, it starts to bog down. You start to see the energetic experience of reading the book is from excitement to, whoa, what's going on here, to as you go into freeing yourself, you start to realize, well, it is the opening and closing of my heart that is determining the level of my energy, period. And so I need to stop closing my heart. I need to stop doing this so that I can experience the energy and grow. How does one do that? And that gets into this deep, thick, almost like you have to go down into it to come up through it, section of the book, which is called Freeing Yourself. We talked a little bit about that, and we talked about just the name of the chapters. Tell the story of what your path is like, which really is your whole life, right? You're working through your stuff, but let go now and fall, removing the thorn, stealing freedom for your soul, and most importantly, paying the price of freedom. In other words, there's no playing around here. You have to go through your stuff. Why? Because it is blocking your heart. It is causing your heart to close. It is causing your mind to close. And when you close, you don't experience the energy. And if you're not experiencing the energy, you're not growing spiritually. It's that simple. The path is very, very simple. The book makes it very clear. It's all about you being in there and the amount of energy that you're experiencing. And you can't experience the energy when you are closed and blocked. And you can't make believe that you're not blocked because you are blocked. And the only thing you can do about the block, like any other block, is to remove it. But this is work. This is, why can't it be easier? Where's a patch? Purification patch. Just put it on. It's like, why do I have to work through my stuff? You have to work through your stuff because you have stuff. It's that simple. And as long as there's stuff, the world is going to activate it, and it's going to block your energy. And this section of the book is very, very important. And you read it, and you feel this heaviness, this work you have to do. But the promise is that it can be done, and you can purify your heart, and you can purify your mind. And as you do, it's not an all or nothing. Every single time you release something that is blocked inside of you, then the world can no longer bother you about it. And because the world can no longer bother you about it, you're not bothered. And if you're not bothered, you get to stay open. You get to enjoy the experience of life. So you commit yourself to working through this stuff. In the next section, as we work our way through it, and a very important part which we brought up last time, and we're going to stress it this time a lot, there are parallel paths to your growth. There are many different layers of your being. Some are more evolved than others. Some are clearer than others. Your being, your soul, your consciousness is more comfortable with some things than other things. The things you are more comfortable with are the things that you have worked your way through, or the things that you don't have a lot of karma about, or the things you don't have a lot of blockages about. The things that you are uncomfortable about, either because you're afraid of them or because you think you need them, that they are the solution to your problems in life, these are the things you're uncomfortable with. Either fear or need create a sense of discomfort inside. These are the things you're not done with. These are the things that the soul, the consciousness, who is whole and complete within itself, doesn't know that it's whole and complete within itself in these areas. It thinks, I will only be okay if this doesn't happen, and I will only be okay if this does happen. The depth of your being experiences that. And so when things in the world activate either the yin and the yang of these blockages inside of you, the positive or negative samskaras, when these things get activated, you get involved and you get sucked into it. And this becomes the process of your life. Just being thrown from desires and fears and needs and these different things. So you will grow at different rates through different things. And some people, there are very, very high beings who are very done with a lot of things and not done with other things. Such beings bring tremendous power to the things they're not done with. And so you keep a fair distance. And net result is you get all this Shakti, you get all this power. What are you doing with it? What the true path teaches, and this book teaches that, is only one thing you do with anything your entire life. You use it to go to God. You use it to release yourself. You use it to finish off the purification. If you are done in certain areas, so you have tremendous strength and power and love and openness in certain areas, it's not like you run and try to make the world be like that, because then what you're saying is, I don't want to grow anymore. All I want to do is have it be the way I'm comfortable. And you can get caught in that. And then you start to define, this makes me feel spiritual. So this must be where I'm supposed to be. This makes me feel yucky. So this must not be where I'm supposed to be. You got it backwards. If you had your way, you would take that which you're already done with and say, that's what I want my life to be about. And you would take that which you need to work through and purify and get done with, so that you can really integrate your whole being and ascend spiritually, and you'd say, I don't want to have anything to do with it. Come on, admit it. That's what section 3 of that book is about, which is freeing yourself. It is saying, you've got that wrong. You got that completely wrong. The way I used to teach that is, by the time you go through 3rd or 4th or 5th grade math, especially if you have to do it a couple of times, you get pretty good at it. So that's math you know how to do. So if you go to 6th grade math and they start giving you algebra or some stuff like that, you're not going to be good at it. So I think the right thing to do is to go back to 5th grade math. Why? I'm good at it. It's obvious. I get A's. Does that make sense to you? You're looking at me funny. You say, well, of course it doesn't make any sense at all. You're already done with that. The very fact that you're getting A's means you don't need to be there anymore. You need to be in 6th grade. Well, I'm telling you the same thing. It just doesn't sound as nice when I talk about your life and about yourself. You're already done with the parts that you're fine with. To run after the parts of life that stimulate the part of you that you're done with is a waste of your life. You're done. There are other people that have no problem with the things you have problems with. Things are not problems. They stimulate problems inside of you because you're not done with that part of you. And if you just run away from that and run toward your comfort zones, you're not going to grow. So the 3rd section of this book is very, very strong, and I'm surprised that so many people like the book. That's how I look at it, because it just says, look at this, because this is how it is. And until you get it, you're going to be running away from yourself. And that is not a spiritual path. It is not a spiritual path to just try and be okay all the time by creating an environment of people, places, and things that fit what you're already done with. So net is, you start facing, I've got this stuff to work through. As I said, you will work through at different paces all the different layers of your being. There are many different areas of your being. And you will be more evolved, less evolved, and so on. So each of these sections in the book, as we go through them, they apply to you. They don't just apply to someone who's just starting. They don't just apply to someone who's enlightened. They apply to everybody at different levels. People talk about enlightenment or the deep states. The truth of the matter is, every one of you know a lot more about those states than you think.